All right, let's head straight to the commodities market now. Definitely, we're going to be looking at maize and corn at this time, as it's popularly called in the streets of Nigeria. It's one of the commodities that will be imported duty-free starting from August 1st, 2024 to January 1st, 2025. Let's gauge expectations now with Tomiwa Jawole, analyst at FDC. Great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me, Ladi.
So I know duty-free imports on corn, that sounds good, but there's this risk of a 75% chance of La Nina weather conditions, in top wheat-producing countries. Could this dampen the expected fall in domestic maize prices in Nigeria? We have about 150 days for that window.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to finally be talking about initiatives that would help to bring prices down after always talking about prices are going up. And a lot of people are wondering if, the importation will actually help to bring prices down. And, but one thing first is that our production of maize is not enough for our domestic consumption. And, in recent times, our production is falling. So for now, we have to import. And talking about the import duty, which is basically taxes on imports, you have about tariff of 5%, you have level of about 50%. By the time you take that 20% off the current price of maize, which is around 105,000 naira per 100 kg, it takes you to about 95 kg. So the price comes down. That's a fall in the cost of importing. But ideally, the import duties are not the only factors that affect, the price, the final price that consumer pay for imported commodities. We have the global maize price, which is a key concern. And if you look at within the last year, while domestic price of maize has increased about 100% in Nigeria, globally, global maize price has actually fallen about 26%. So, we're seeing a divergence there, and obviously because of the exchange rate depreciation. So if this initiative is going to work, the forex, the exchange rate has to be stable at the forex market, and luckily we expect that the CBN has been hawkish. That's going to help to promote foreign portfolio investment. So we expect the naira to be stable. That is going to help to ensure that the exchange rate is stable, and that way we should be able to see lesser prices. But a key concern is the long term effect, because if it's just going to be for 150 days, my as an importer, the incentive for me is that I can buy cheap now and then sell at a higher price later. So we have to be sure that to improve long term, to ensure that prices remain low at the long term, to increase domestic production. That is still the number one factor that's going to help to bring prices down.
Yeah, because it'd be quite sad, if we get this duty-free window and we can't get the supply from most of these countries, at this time. But apart from human consumption, which accounts for only about 11% of global maize demand, maize is also used for livestock feed. That's about 60%. Industrial processing. They're also used for production of some cereals. So what will be the impact on the supply and demand of these derivatives?
Yeah, so one key thing about maize is, it's a raw material for the production of many products. And even as you said, rightfully in Nigeria also, human consumption accounts for only 10% of actually the total maize consumption in the country. 20% goes to animal feeds, and the rest goes into, all these food and beverage industry they use as inputs for their production. So when we have the price of maize coming as a raw material, ideally it should lead to a lower price for all these other commodities. And this is key, especially in the poultry industry. Maize accounts for about 60% of poultry feed. So when we have price of maize coming down, that should filter through to lower price for egg, lower price for chicken, and ideally you see this also in the production of snacks like golden more and cornflakes, which use maize as a raw material. We should begin to see lower prices for there also. So there's a multiplier effect of the lower prices. And for there, obviously, with that food inflation, should begin to taper. All
right. So one of the concerns about the import duty waiver is the possibility of, hampering the domestic maize market in Nigeria. What can be done to improve, maize yield in the country and, bolster domestic production, even though this window, still is a positive, at this time?
Yeah, so basically, with concerns for the long term and with the real solution being increasing production, what should happen is within this window, there should be key initiatives that address, production. And obviously, if you look at our yield per hectare, it's currently low about 2.1. This is low compared to South Africa's yield per hectare, which is about 4.9. And one of the reasons is because obviously we do a lot of subsistence farming. If there's mechanized farming, is this commercial farming, the yield per hectare can increase as much as 10 yield per hectare. So with that, we see increased supply, and also there's need for improved agricultural extension services, because one of the factors that affects the yield is pest infestation. So they need to be more training. There need to be recruitment of people who actually study agriculture. We see a lot of agri graduates in the banks. They need to be government. They need to be job opportunities for people that study agri to apply what the knowledge they have earned. And obviously there need to be more incentives for people to go into agri. And also we need to decentralize our dependence on the northern region, still crack by insecurity. But if we can have an improvement in our value chain where we don't depend solely on the northern for our food products, that will also help to bring down logistic costs. So these are some issues that are going to determine a high price that the government within this import window that needs to be addressed, so we can see improved supply.
All right, so you heard it there from Tomiwa. If you're in the bank and you have a background in farming, Tomiwa is saying head back to the farm, at this time. Thank you so much, Tomiwa Jowole, analyst, financial derivatives company. Thank you.
Thank you.